Good evening there, everyone. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine as we get ready to roll here tonight. Currently qualifying is taking place. We see out there on track at Ben Bushnell. There you see Jack Stanley out there at number 95. We got 3 drivers here to compete in your top 3. I got to make sure I get them situated here just right. We no longer have anybody in the red. So hopefully I have the correct drivers highlighted. Here going through for the championship tonight. As I said, we're here at Darlington for the race tonight. Which, if we're looking at tonight's race, it is, I have it named wrong there at the moment. Just give me a moment here and we'll get it up. The TWIGI 200. We see the drivers finishing out here. Race number 1 of the round of 3. We want to make sure that we have this completely right. Let's see if I got... the points right here. Watchorn, Bushnell, and Roden are your top 3 fighting for your positions here tonight. Watchorn, Bushnell, and Rooster Roden in that number 01. Getting ready here. We got 7 drivers making it here to the main event. In that number 01. There we go. All right, everybody get lined up for the grid now. Your grid's going to look like this. We only got 7 drivers. Oh, I guess 9 drivers on the thing here. J.J. Moore out there in front with Wyatt Thompson there second. Merrick Watchorn there third. Maurice Gamillion there fourth. Ben Bushnell there fifth. James Wertzma in sixth. Jack Stanley there in 7th, Rooster Roden in 8th, Kadorian Davis there in 9th. That is your starting grid. Oh, come on now. Give me what I need. There we go. Waiting for the pace car to lead them off. Got a couple more drivers yet to grid here tonight. We're sitting here waiting. Let's go ahead and take a look at your race info for tonight. We got here for September 5th, it's going to be here the track temperature of 69 degrees. It is 68 degrees Fahrenheit as an ambient temperature, 7% humidity, with cloudy skies and 2-mile-per-hour winds. Waiting for all the cars kind of load in there, and it looks like they all have. $154 laps, the distance around here at Darlington. We'll see how many end up with that Darlington stripe here tonight. We got 9 drivers to take the grid here. We're through 3 and 4 down here. Lights are off. Fred will pull that pace machine down on the pit road. We're getting ready for the green flag as they come off of here. Down across the stripe they go, and they're down and away into corner number 1. Cross that stripe as they get up to speed. Corner number 1 right here. And we see the battle between J.J. Moore and Wyatt Thompson with Merrick Watchorn there in a third. Bushnell back here fourth as they battle on out here. And they come on down here out of the corner. Cadorian Davis there in 8th. Maurice Chameleon there in 9th. As we watch the field back here, you got them side by side there. That's Rooster Roden and Jack Stanley as they work there off the corner. Rooster with a new paint scheme there tonight. For Steelhouse Racing on that machine. Head up through there, and it looks like they are into the outside wall. That is going to be the 95 and the 01 of Maurice Chameleon. I'm sorry, the 44 of 95 of Jack Stanley and the 01 of Rooster Roden. Maurice Chameleon trying to snake on through there. We're coming here to 2 laps completed. They come across the stripe. Lap number 3 now on the board. In the corner number 1. Merrick Watchorn there in 3rd. Thompson out there in front. Moore leading the race. Stanley down on pit road. Having some issues there on that machine as they work down here out of corner number 2. You're watching Rooster Road. Out of here through 3 and 4. You see J.J. Moore and Thompson come down in the corner number 1. Up there against that outside wall. Back off down here through the backstretch. Everybody hangs on here. Everybody looking great as they come off the corner. Down there through 3 and 4. Back out onto that backstretch. There you see them all single file right now here down into corner number 1 and 2. And then on to the backstretch. There you see Jack Stanley coming out of the pits. Roden currently in the pits, working his way out. You see Watchorn going side by side with Thompson as he works there off at corner number 3. Around off 4, back down across the stripe, down here into corner number 1. Lap 6 now on the board of the 154 to complete here tonight. Everybody's single file, so I'm not sure how much racing there's going to be. Everybody's just spread out back here towards the back. As there's 9 drivers on track. Roden a lap down, Stanley a lap down after they get together. Down through corner 1 and 2 onto the backstretch. Thompson there third. Bushnell back here fourth. James Wertzma there fifth. Kendorian Davis there sixth. Maurice Chameleon there seventh. As I look down here into that backstretch, out onto the front stretch. Everybody doing a great job looking there at Moore up there on the top side, leading the race. You got Merrick Watchorn right there behind him. Watchorn is your points leader coming in here tonight. Bushnell in second and Roden in third. Roden back here in eighth right now. Bushnell trying to chase Watchorn for the points. So those three drivers in yellow are your drivers to watch. Now work down through the front stretch here in the corner number 1. Watchorn there second, right behind Moore. Thompson there lurking in third. Hey, driver looking back here towards the back. You got Chameleon back here in seventh. Davis back here in sixth. James Wertzma there in third. As it stands right now. I'm sorry, no, running the number 3. He's running fifth right now. Running through turn 1 and 2, back out, or I'm sorry, through 3 and 4, back out onto the front stretch. And you come down across the stripe. You're looking there at Wertzma as he heads into corner number 1. Just ahead of him is Ben Bushnell. And in front of that is Thompson. Watchorn there in front of him, getting up there to the back bumper of J.J. Moore. J.J. Moore trying to hang on here at the front. Lap number 11 of the 154 complete as they head on in the corner number 1 for lap number 12. Little brush there for Thompson as they come out of the corner. Down through, off the corner. There you see the 31 there of J.J. Moore hanging on to the lead. Off corner number 3, down the front, or down the back stretch here, into corner number 3. Into 4, back here onto the front stretch. Lap 13 complete. Off of 2. Watchorn running second behind Moore. Thompson there running third. Lap number 15 of 154 on the board as it goes down there through the backstretch. Now we come out of 2 once again down that down that Boeing straightaway. Come down into corner number 3 and 4 here at lap number 16. TWIGI 200 here tonight by the Cannonball iRacing Series as they head on back through here. We want to give a shout out there to Admin Box for helping sponsor both here and at FFTV. And a little bit of tidbit there on Admin Box. If you're in the Chicago area this weekend, I'm not sure about Sunday, but I do know tomorrow for sure, they will be at that Sim Expo. They have a stand set up. Check out the Admin Box in person. I truly helped set up the some paint schemes there for them to use. So hopefully that you're getting to see some wriggle wrap schemes there along with us on the billboard there. Down there off corner number 2, back out here. And it's still Moore out front as Moore gets into that outside wall coming there off of 2. Getting a little bit of Darlington stripe on that machine. And I don't know why I don't get to see some of these stripes. As I would think that I should see some scraping going on the side of those cars. Up there off to, once again, as Moore comes off, he keeps it off this time. So does Watchorn, so does that 77. Thompson, Bushnell back here in 4th. Gamillion there in 5th. James Wertzma sitting in 6th as he's got company coming slowly up there on the top side, right there behind him. As they both get a Darlington stripe coming off of 2. That is Cadorian Davis. Jack Stanley trying to get up here to possibly battle for a lap back. Rooster Roden as well wanting to try to get a lap back there in that 01 machine. We see Stanley coming around the 5 of Cadorian Davis. Davis that might be having an issue back here. Lap number 20 on the board as they work here off of 2. AC Thompson in 3rd. Bushnell 4th. Gamillion there 5th. Wertzma there in 6th. There we go, down here in the corner number 3 and 4, back out onto the front stretch. 22 laps in the books. 22 laps soon to be in the books. Moore comes there off the corner. We'll get the map up here so you can kind of see where your driver might be at. As looks like there the 31 and Watchorn are your closest drivers. You do have the 95 gaining on the 3 of Wertzma. Head in the corner number 1 and 2. Here, lap number 24 now. Moore still your leader. Watchorn there 2nd. Thompson there 3rd. Question becomes, what will the cautions have to hold for us? Head on down through the front stretch. There you see the 95 of Stanley getting underneath of Wertzma. Cadorian Davis out. Not seeing him on track, nor do I see a transponder for him. So Davis most likely out. As they work down through the front stretch, and see that 55 there, Bushnell. Trying to work up there to try to get to the 44 of Gamillion. Gamillion sits for it. Wertzma back there at 6th. J.J. Moore back there in the lead with Watchorn there behind him. A lot of racing left to go here tonight. These drivers battle it out for the championship. As we said, Watchorn, your points leader with Bushnell in second. Roden there third, and that's kind of how they're running tonight as well. And Seymour out there in front. Watchorn second, right there behind him. Thompson a little bit ways back. And way farther back from that is 44 Gamillion. Bushnell comes to pit road. Wurtzma stays out. Here, lap number 28, pit stop for Bushnell. Hey, driver heading on out here. You'll see that 44. Doing a great job so far. Wyatt Thompson in that 77. Sitting third. Wurtzma moved himself up there to pit as Bushnell came into the pits. And yes, Davis is confirmed out at this point in time. Up off the corner goes Wurtzma, up there getting a little bit of Darlington stripe down through. As we see, here comes J. Moore working there off the corner, slowly gaining on him. Work down here in the corner number one. Wurtzma in the middle, coming off of turn number two now. As they work down the back straightaway, you got the 77 there with company around him. Try to see who that might be. That's the 55. Bushnell, as Bushnell gets up here, going to try to get a lap back on on Thompson, possibly. Not quite. He might be 2 laps down. Up there you see at 31 coming down there in the corner number 3 and 4. And Darlington's kind of a weird shape. We almost call it an egg shape because turn number 1 and 2 is so much more wide sweeping than what 3 and 4 is. 3 and 4 definitely is a tighter turn, as you see there by the track map. Down there off of turn number 2, down that back straightaway goes the 01 of Roden. Following there behind is the 95 of Stanley, and right behind them is the 31 there, as Wurtzma ended up a lap down, falling behind Moore and Watchorn. Gamillion need to be careful with himself as well, as he's a half a lap down right now, and could be caught lap down. We see everybody trying to keep it going here. Lap 34 of the 154. Here for the TWIGI 200 with the Cannonball iRacing Series. Thompson back here in at number 77. Everybody's looked good throughout the playoff. Just unfortunately, someone fell a little bit short. So that means the playoff contenders that we have here, as we said, are in yellow. That'd be Watchorn, Bushnell, and Roden. Roden right now out in front of Bushnell. Bushnell down 2 laps. Roden down 1. Stanley down 2. And as we said, Davis is out in at number 5. Everybody has kind of stretched out there, as I see 8 dots around the racetrack. Work off of turn number 2 down there through the back straightaway. In the corner number 3 goes Moore and Watchorn. Work here off of turn number 2 back on that front straightaway. At 91, a Watchorn. Great season he's had. And there's part of me that thinks that paint scheme might not be completely correct, but I don't know. Everybody else seems to be pretty good there. Now we see that 77 Wrangler machine. Gamillion there in the Tire Pros. And Wertzma in the pilot car. Wertzma, or I'm sorry, no, Roden there in the Steel Horse Racing. Ben Bushnell in Husky. Stanley in that Rustys. And Gadurian Davis, as we said, is out. The 31 or more unsponsored right now. Merrick Watchorn in second, trying to gain some progress. Lap 39 now on the board of the 154 at 38 in the books. Now you see the driver work there off of 2 down that back straightaway. So close to that outside wall when they come off of 2. And the corner number 1 and 2 back around onto the backstretch. The 01 there we see them all coming down. The 95 there in 8th right now. That's Jack Stanley. Drivers trying to make the most of what they got. You can see them here. J.J. Moore, Merrick Watchorn, Thompson. Reese Gamillion there in 4th. James Wertzma there in 5th, lap down. As we see them put the lap there on the 55 of Bushnell. Up a 2. The 55, Bushnell getting by Moore. Gaining one of his 2 laps back. Roden down on pit road. That'll put him 2 laps down, possibly more. He's working his way out of the pits now. As you see, Merrick Watchorn up there on the top side. Got J.J. Moore there in front. Thompson there 3rd. Gamillion there 4th. As they work here off of 2, back onto the backstretch. The 77 there of Thompson. And the 95 of Stanley. Stanley down there on the apron. Thompson gets around him. And they send it off down here in the corner number 1 and 2. down that back straightaway. You're looking there at Thompson, who's in second. Watchorn out there in front. Watchorn brings it to pit road. As we said, J.J. Moore brought it to pit road. Although I think we have a problem more with J.J. Moore. I didn't quite see it. Take a look here. I don't know what went on with J.J. Moore. We'll take a quick look back. There's no caution come out. He comes down on the pit road. He brings it down there on the bottom and calls it. Now J.J. Moore out. Maurice Chameleon in pit road. Wyatt Thompson up there against the top of the wall. Coming down there off. He has Merrick Watchorn a lap down, same with Chameleon. And he comes another lap around. He's got the 3 of Wertsma there not too far behind him. And Chameleon keeps working his way in. Watchorn off and back on the racetrack. Now he gets around Chameleon, coming down there into corner number 1. Wyatt Thompson has them all a lap down at the moment. He's still out there, going to gain another, try to gain a little bit more out there. Thompson has not pitted yet. Roden's pitted twice. Wertsma is in for his first stop. Maurice Chameleon pitted at lap 47. Bushnell pitted at lap 27. Watchorn pitted at lap 46. And we see Thompson. He's going to bring it in possibly this time as he's way down on the apron. Here at lap number 50. And indeed, he's going to bring it in. Watchorn now comes around. He'll possibly retake the lead once he gets back around here. Watchorn, Bushnell, Chameleon getting all back onto the lead lap. As Thompson still works his way into the pit box. He's in, but here comes Watchorn up off of 4 down that front straightaway across the stripe and down into corner number 1. Thompson's going to fall back possibly to at least 3rd. We'll see if he falls back any more than that. Maybe he'll hold on there to 2nd. And they come there off of the corner. Watchorn out there in front. Thompson there 2nd. Bushnell 3rd. Chameleon there 4th. Your 4 drivers on the lead lap. Now the drivers are laps down here. Now we see as the ticker comes by. Bushnell 15 seconds back. Chameleon 20 seconds back. Roden down a lap. Stanley down 2 laps. Wertsma down 2 laps. The 31 of Moore is out, and the 5 of Davis is out. Down there out of 3 and 4 comes the 9, or out of 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. That Boeing backstretch. Watchorn in front. Thompson there 2nd. Bushnell 3rd. Chameleon back here in 4th. This is the Twiggy 200 here tonight from the Cannonball iRacing series. If interested in joining, look at the description there below of the video. We do have a way to get a hold of Cannonball, a way to get a hold of FMA, and as well as Coast to Coast and Roughneck. So if you're watching any of those races anytime during the week and we're curious how to get in touch, There is links in the description down there below. As we said tonight, it is the eNASCAR Cannonball iRacing Series. We see Stanley bringing it back on the pit road as the 44 Chameleons out there in fourth. Watchorn out front. He chases down Roden. Bushnell sitting third. Well, Chameleon and Bushnell both on the backstretch right now. And Merrick is entering the backstretch. We're not even halfway yet. Only 4 drivers remain on the lead lap. We're looking there at Ben Bushnell. And then you got Chameleon there in fourth. Thompson third, Watchorn there first. Roden sits fifth with Wertzma back there in sixth. Stanley there seventh. Yeah, car counts aren't the best here at Cannonball right now, backyard. I don't know any of the backstory there with Watchorn and Roughneck or anything like that, so I don't get in the middle of that feud. And we're down here in the corner. Number 3 and 4 goes to 77 of Thompson as they come out of corner number 2. Watchorn there slowly gaining here on Bushnell. Roden as well, and you got Chameleon there in third. Up here off 2, down in the corner number 3 they go. And Backyard Bird, the other thing is, yeah, we might see 9 drivers on the grid here, but here's the thing. Only 7 of them are on track right now. 3 of which are on, or 4 of which are on the lead lap for the moment. We see Bushnell there gaining on the 01 of Roden. And right behind him is the 91 of Watchorn coming down there in the corner number 2. Now into 3 and 4. Here with 61 of the 154 laps complete. Watchorn going down below the 55. Gets through there, looking good so far. Down into the backstretch goes the 91 of Watchorn. There we got Thompson and Chameleon here. There's Wertzma in at number 3. At 55, Bushnell on pit road. We saw a lot of drivers come in here, and Bushnell did pit back at like lap 27, so it's interesting seeing him come in here. He's on a little bit different pit strategy than the rest of them. But I don't think that pit strategy is going to fully play out. Wertzma gets out of the way of the 01 of Roden. Staying down there as the 91 of Watchorn comes around him. 3 cars on the lead lap. Watchorn, Thompson, and Chameleon. And Watchorn slowly gaining on Chameleon down here through turn 3 and 4. And see, Wertzman's down 3, Stanley's down 4, Moore is out, Davis is out. Lap 65 of the 154. There you see Watchorn going back underneath. He's going to put Roden a lap down, another lap down here. So Roden's 2 lap down. Gamillion there. Not a lap down yet, but they're in the same corner. Watchorn comes off. There you see it, 3 of Wertzma. He got Jack Stanley working there behind him. Wertzman's going to go down. He's going to let Stanley around. Wertzma ended up there into the outside wall. There you see Watchorn coming down there through turn 2. Gamillion works off a 2. As Thompson's trying to hang in there the best he can, hoping that he can somehow get some sort of act together. J.J. Moore was leading the race for quite a while and then ended up bringing it down and calling it done. Head down there through the front stretch. Watchorn coming across the line. Wertzma going another lap down as he's down there on pit road. We're looking there at Watchorn. Just in front of him, not too far, is Gamillion. As I work down that backstretch, you're looking there at Gamillion, and he's there up at the number 3 of Wertzma. Wertzma ends up down there across the bottom. Bloater blown, no caution as he quickly gets off the racetrack. That'll be it for Wertzma. And he lost it coming out of 4 and down across the pits. Or down across into the outside of that pit lane wall down there that separates pit lane from the racetrack. Watchorn up there on top. Thompson there second. Gamillion there third. And even though it says Wertzma is in the pit, I don't know if he'll be coming back out or not. I mean, I'm showing that he's there. I just don't know. So we're down to 6 cars on track. 3 of which are on the lead lap. Soon to be 2. Now, Watchorn keep gaining little by little on that number 44 of Gamillion. And see Thompson there in the 77. He works here out of 2. Gamillion and Watchorn down through 3 and 4. Lap 75 of the 154. Wertsma in the pits. Now showing as out. He did haul it back to the hauler. So Wertsma out of the race tonight. Down to 6 drivers, 3 of which are out of the running. Or out of the 9 that started tonight, 3 are out, 3 are laps down, and 3 are currently on the lead lap. Watchorn gains on Gamillion coming down the front stretch. Here with the TWIGI 200. I see Thompson there, Gamillion there at 3rd, Roden there in 4th as he has at least 2 laps down. Bushnell, 2 laps down. Stanley, 4 laps down. Nothing real exciting going on the racetrack. As we said, we're down to 6 drivers. We got the lap down machine of the 95 of Stanley. Going to get passed by the 77 of Thompson. Halfway through the race just now. Merrick Watchorn out there as your leader. Down into corner number 1 he goes along with Gamillion, as Gamillion's there just a little bit ahead of him. Coming off a 2. As Thompson, as you see him there in that Wrangler number 77. Slowly gaining on the 95 there of Stanley. Stanley getting down out of the way down there along the apron. Now we see Stanley working there down through off of 4. I know from a person that's trying to watch this, it gets kind of boring as it does for us here in the booth whenever we're down to just a few cars like this and they're so spread out. There's no action, and when they are together, it's a lap down machine going with a lead lap car. So it's really, really hard to broadcast this style of racing whenever we don't have action. I mean, now if you would have watched last night's Coast to Coast dirt track racing, we had all kind of action last night. That was a blast to broadcast, a blast to be there. Same with the Xfinity races on Sunday nights with Freedom Motorsport Alliance. And the GT3s for FMA on Monday nights, they're gaining in popularity as well, getting drivers there to participate there. I think last week we saw about 16 or 17 GT3s. So that's great. I to see that form of racing getting that type of recognition, that is wonderful to see. Great league there, great competitive drivers and sportsmanship alike. Down here in corner number 3 and 4 they go. Watchorn still your leader. We're looking here at Thompson, your 2nd place driver. Your 3rd place driver of Gamillion is back here coming down the backstretch. And there you see lurking there behind him is that number 91 of Watchorn. As they head there off the corner out of 3, 4, down across the stripe into 1 and 2. Lap 84 of the 154. There, see Maurice Chameleon there, trying to stay ahead of Watchorn, but I think that's just a play there, because Watchorn will catch him and will pass him. Question is, when is it going to happen? It's not if, it's when. And see him work down into corner number 3 and 4 once again. These are the closest two on the speedway. Yeah, they work down off here through 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front stretch. These two are working out of 2 down the back stretch. As lap times right now are sitting about a 31 flat for Watchorn, and they're sitting about a 31.23 for Chameleon. These two really starting to Chameleon's trying to put a foot down into it, trying to stay ahead of Watchorn. I think that's futile, though. They head there through 3 and 4. Look out. Watchorn's getting the nose in there. Here, lap number 88, coming there across the line. Stanley into the pit road. They come here off the corner. There you see Watchorn lurking behind Chameleon. As they work down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Watchorn up there towards the top wall. Here comes Chameleon down there on the bottom side. And look out. Chameleon falls a lap down to Merrick Watchorn. So now we got 2 drivers on the lead lap. 4 drivers laps down. 3 drivers out. And I'm trying to see where we have the other driver. Up there, out there. Okay. I got them all. There's 6 dots. Roden's coming into pit road. Here at lap 91. Watchorn pitting at lap 46. Thompson at lap 40. Or, I'm sorry, lap 50. Chameleon pitted at lap 47. "92 of the 154, soon to be complete. Watchorn comes out of corner number 4, down across the front straightaway. Everybody's got back out again. We got 5 cars on track. Looks like Watchorn's coming to pit road. That'll let Chameleon get his lap back for the time being. Here comes Thompson. Thompson's going to lead. Coming there off of 4. Thompson now takes the lead. Chameleon coming out of turn number 3. Into 4. He's now coming across the line. He'll take second spot away from Watchhorn. Chameleon, it's Thompson, works around and gets back in front of Watchhorn. Chameleon on pit road. Thompson out front gets that lap. Everybody's a lap down now as Thompson's out there in front. Got 91, a Watchhorn coming up there behind him. As Thompson ends up giving way to the quicker car of Watchhorn. Bushnell is a lap down. Watchhorn coming back around. I believe Bushnell and Watchhorn are on the same lap. They are. Bushnell, though, still has yet to pit. Same with Thompson. So we may see everybody be a lap down here before the race is over. As Thompson pushes it a little bit more. It's going to be interesting since Watchhorn pitted there at lap 93. Did he have to pit? That's going to get interesting, seeing how the pit strategies play out. As Thompson pitted at lap 50. Can he squeeze a little bit more out of the tank? There for that number 77 of Thompson. There behind him, that's Chameleon. And at 44, Chameleon. There it is. I don't know what that was about. Watchhorn there in second. Thompson out there in front. Yeah, it looks like Thompson's coming down on the pit road. I'll most likely let Watchhorn come around. There's Chameleon. Watchhorn coming out of turn 4. Coming across the line. He'll go ahead of Thompson. As Thompson pits here at lap 101. As he's down and away. So he pitted at lap 100. Watchhorn comes around. He already got Chameleon down a lap. Thomas sitting there in second. Question is, who's got the fuel to make it to the end? Stanley now out. So now we definitely are down to just 5 cars on track. Go back and look at this crash here of Stanley as they're all running around here. Possibly Stanley just brought it down, but we'll see. Yeah, it looked like Stanley broke loose. Down there across, ends up having a tow, and engine blows on that machine. That will end his night. A Watchorn out front. Thompson there in second. Gamillion back here in third. Now we're down to 54, under 50 laps to go. Watchorn out front. Yeah, the 4 of Gamillion back here. Roden back here fourth. 55 Bushnell sitting there in a fifth. And see everybody kind of just moseying around the racetrack here. 50 laps as we said to go. We're down here off of corner number 4. You see there, Gamillion and Roden. Watchorn works there out of turn 4. He'll make it lap number 110. Down here, Halp, the front straightaway goes Gamillion and Roden. Here in a TWIGI 200. Thompson, Gamillion, Rooster, Roden. Others that second through fourth. Bushnell in fifth. Stanley in sixth. Out. Wertzma out. Moore is out. And Davis is out. So half the field out of this race. Now we see Thompson there running on the backstretch. Watchorn coming out of turn number 2. Seven laps difference between Watchorn and Thompson. Does Watchorn have enough to make it on fuel? And we saw the fuel run be about 45 laps. And we know you can push it a little bit as Thompson's pushed it. He's pitted twice, once at lap 50, once at lap 100. Well, Watchorn, as we said, have enough to make it to the end. Thompson trying to stretch that fuel as far as he can. Watchorn and Thompson, you're only two on the lead lap. Down the back stretch goes Roden and the 44 of Chameleon. Lap 116 of 154 on the board. We see them coming down off at 4. Chameleon and Roden off at 2. Thompson going into 1. Watchorn coming across the stripe. Down off the corner they go. Here with the TWIGI 200. Watchorn goes around here through 1 and 2 on lap 119. Thank you all for tuning in here to FFTV tonight to watch On the Pole. Now we're here from Darlington. This race is winding down here. Watchorn as your leader, Thompson in second. Chameleon, Roden, Bushnell, all laps down. Stanley, Wertzma, Moore, and Davis all out. There you see Chameleon is 1 lap down. Roden is 2. Bushnell is 2. From Stanley on back is out of the running here tonight, as they had instances that ruined their cars enough that they couldn't get them repaired for the night's finish. Lap 121 of 154. Up there around the top side, down through the back. We had the 77 there. Working off of corner number 4. And here comes Watchorn coming to pit road. Kind of what I thought. I didn't think Watchorn had the fuel to make it to the end. Question is, does Thompson? Thompson stays out. Now we know he's pushed the fuel before. Now we see, there goes Watchorn in the pits. Tires getting changed on that number 91. And he's down and away as Thompson comes out of turn number 4 here. Watchorn goes out of turn number 2. That's going to hand the lead over to Thompson. Darlington stripe there for Gamillion. As Gamillion ends back on the lead lap. So Thompson as your leader, trying to beat Watchorn. Trying to figure out the fuel strategy, figure out the pitch strategy. Make it all come together here at the end. We're here with 30 to go. Thompson ends up there into the outside wall, coming out of 4. So 30 laps to go. Down there, and he hits the outside wall once again. Not something he really wants to do. He doesn't want to beat that car up. He pitted at lap 100. Can he make the fuel stretch and stay ahead of Watchorn? Watchorn a half a lap behind him. And you watch Thompson work down there into turn number 3 and 4. He's got to be careful not to follow that 55. Make sure that he runs his own line. That way he doesn't go up into that outside wall. The 55 there of Bushnell getting out of the way of Thompson. He works there through turn number 2. Back out onto the back straightaway. Merrick has gained on him a couple seconds. As Watchorn's gaining 2 seconds a lap. Isn't enough for Thompson to stay ahead. He heads down here into corner number 1 and 2. He comes off. So we know Watchorn now has the fuel to make it to the end. I don't know about Gamillion. Gamillion pitted at lap 94. He's there in the 44. And they work down that back stretch. Watchorn slowly closing, but there's 26 laps to go. And Thompson brings it to pit road. That's going to hand it back over to Watchorn. Watchorn comes out of turn 4. We got 25 laps to go. Roden is in. Now Watchorn puts Thompson a lap down. So if Thompson had to pit, I'm going to guess Gamillion's going to have to pit, which means everybody will once again a lap down. 24 laps to go. Merrick Watchorn has this one in the bag as he's got the next driver a lap down. Gamillion, I do not believe, has the fuel to make it. Bushnell as well. Bushnell pitted at lap 96. And we see there Stanley, Roden coming off pit road. 23 laps to go. Gamillion still hangs out there. So does Bushnell. Bushnell up here on the top side of the racetrack, does not bring it in. We got Watchorn gaining on the 55. Here comes the 44 in the pit road now. He comes down there across the bottom. Watchorn comes out of the corner. There you see Rooster Roden working underneath him. Hang with him down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front straightaway. Chameleon now 2 laps down. Bushnell comes around him. "19 laps to go. Thompson back here in second. 1 lap down to Watchorn. Come there out of turn number 2. Thompson is a little quicker than Watchorn that last lap. Unfortunately, though, he is a lap down with 18 laps to go. He's still quicker by half a second. Work back onto the backstretch. Thompson there in second. Watchorn out there in front. Has everybody a lap down at the time. So no one really in contention right now. Thompson, yes, he's a lap down and getting up there to the bumper, but he's still got an entire lap of race to try to make up. And I just don't see that happening with 16 laps to go. Be very surprised if Thompson somehow made it back around. But I don't think there's enough time. So Thompson got himself back on the lead lap, and that might be about all he can do. Head off down in corner number 1. Still a half a second faster than what Watchorn's running. But that half a second per 14 laps isn't going to be enough. He needs to be getting more like 2 seconds a lap to have any shot at getting around. "13 laps to go. Watchorn, Thompson, your only 2 cars on the lead lap. Chameleon back here 2 laps down in third. Bushnell 2 laps down. Rooster Roden 2 laps down. Waiting for Bushnell to come in as he pitted at lap 96. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? Five cars on the track. Watchorn, Thompson, Gamillion, Bushnell, and Roden. $11 to go. And come down there off of 4. Cross the stripe. Watchorn out front. Nearly a lap in front of everybody. All right, Thompson there second, Bushnell there third, Gamillion there fourth. Roden there in fifth, Stanley sixth, Wurtzma there in seventh, Moore eighth, Davis there ninth, Brack. And we may have lost connection. There it is. That's the second time that's happened tonight. And watch Thompson come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. You got the 54 there. And I was wondering when Bushnell would be coming to pit road. And he didn't. He's slow down there on the apron. And he let Watchorn around. Thompson working down that back stretch. Got the 01 of Rooster Roden up here in the middle of 3 and 4, off of 4. Gamillion there in third. And see Thompson down here in second place. And we see Bushnell on pit road now. Down that back straightaway. Watchorn out front. Thompson there second. Thompson fought to get back onto the lead lap, but unfortunately he's not going to have enough to stay out ahead, to get back around to battle ahead of Watchorn. So Watchorn most likely, unless some unforeseen thing happens here, Merrick Watchorn has this race wrapped up. And work there off of turn 4. Thompson comes across the start-finish line. Here comes Watchorn off of 4. As Thompson goes into 1, here comes Merrick into 1. Reese Gamillion at third. Down there in the corner number 1. Off of corner number 2 goes the 44 of Gamillion. Got the 55 there of Bushnell working there off as well. And the drivers are all laps down. Now we got 2 laps to go for Watchorn. Everybody out, not that far in front of them, really. All within a half a lap of one another. Big hit to the outside wall there for Roden as he comes off the corner. Bushnell, they're in 5th. Roden and Gamillion on the same lap here, 3rd and 4th. Bushnell down 4 laps. Roden and Gamillion down 2. Thompson, they're barely on the lead lap. White flag, checker flag out as he comes out of corner number 4. Watchorn gets the win here at Darlington to start round number 3, or the round of 3, with race number 1 for the round of 3, put it that way. Clenching him into the top of the leaderboard of the points. Here's your race results. Merrick Watchorn out there getting the win. Wyatt Thompson there in 2nd. Maurice Gamillion there 3rd. Rooster Road in 4th. Bushnell there 5th. Stanley in 6th. Wertzma there 7th. Moore in 8th. Condorian Davis there in 9th. That is your finishing order here tonight. Alright, here we go. Looking like, where is my Discord here? I thought I was in there already. So we got Gamillion here. Good evening there, Gamillion. How's it going? You there, Gamillion?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going?
It's going. How about yourself?
Well, you got 3rd despite, it being Darlington.
Yeah, it was challenging at the least, I would say.
Well, you did a great job nonetheless. I mean, it doesn't look like you got too much of a Darlington stripe on that car.
No, it wasn't too bad. I just tried to really survive the race. We had maybe one incident early on in the race, so I was able to escape that one and just kind of keep my nose clean. I just took it easy, really. That's just, like I said, just trying to survive.
Well, you did a great job, and I know you're not in the points anymore, but you're just trying to go out here and try to be a spoiler, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but you know, if I can get some places or at least a win, you know, that would kind of seal the season for myself. But championship is kind of out of the window now, so we'll take what we can get.
Well, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting into that top 3 tonight?
Let me see. I guess I want to give a shout out to DSD, their Experience Designs. I guess the guys in the league, you know, it's we're kind of getting smaller and smaller, but you know, guys are still hanging in there. You know, we still kind of have some camaraderie. So I just want to give a shout out to them. But no other sponsors. You, I guess, for broadcasting us and sticking in there when we don't have a lot of drivers to kind of call the race on. But you know, appreciate you and what you do.
It definitely it can take its toll up here in the booth some nights, especially like tonight, whenever you got only ending up with 5 cars a little past halfway, and you're stretched out around Darlington.
Exactly. So yeah, so I want to give a shout out to you for sticking in there. So hopefully maybe next season the tennis will be a lot better.
Well, hopefully, we'll see how it goes. So, you did a great job, and we'll see how you do next week, I guess, as this season finishes out.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, you have yourself a great night.
You too. Thanks.
All right, that was Maurice Chameleon. Now we'll get with Wyatt Thompson. Good evening there, Wyatt. How's it going?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. It didn't seem like you had the pitch strategy to fully get ahead of Watchorn there.
Had it, and after JJ left, I just didn't commit to it, and I just was one lap short basically, and had to super save that last little bit. If I'd saved the first bit, I might would have had it though.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you had something, but there at the end, it looks like you had to make a last-minute pit stop that kind of threw it out the window.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, I had a lot of fun as always coming in here. It's fun messing around.
Well, you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for second place tonight?
Not really. I want to appreciate you for the stream. I'll go back and watch it. I'm sure it was pretty entertaining.
Alrighty, well, you have yourself a great night, and hopefully we'll see it going on forward here in the season.
All right. You probably will.
All right, that was Wyatt Thompson, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Merrick Watchorn. Good evening there, Merrick. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. It's going good.
Well, were you nervous about Thompson at all through that race?
I thought Thompson actually had the better car. Between him and JJ, I thought definitely going to be the two guys that are going to ruin my parade of going, nonstop winning every week. So it's kind of nice having some competition up there. I mean, I got to mess with Rooster a little bit about that.
Yeah, I know your friends are back in the stream again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them.
But
they can cry as much as they want.
but
cheating when you don't need to,
Well, I honestly don't know how it's done, so.
Neither do I. That's the whole point. Like, it's the funniest thing to hear.
You got to give them some credit, though. They do think something's up, considering you blow these guys out so far each week. I mean, you had 25 seconds between you and Thompson here tonight.
Well, to be fair about that one, Thompson decided to not hit properly, so he was trying to go for the long run, so he was hoping with the fuel mileage that he could do, he could possibly make it to the very end with like at lap 100. And I'm looking at him, and we're all like, "You're not going to make it on fuel." So I was just basing everything off of my, my pace. The moment I started slowing down was when I started pit, which is around lap, 120-ish. I came in, took 4 sets of tires, took a full tank of fuel, and went right back out and punched it, and did not look back. So even though I was on 25-second, lead, he was, he was still faster due to the fact that all I did was just substitute speed for distance. And that's all it was. Fuel strategy and pit strategy came in about, well, not one.
Yeah, so you did a pretty good job here tonight getting that win and keeping a hold of that playoffs. I mean, if you win next week, would you pretty much have the points wrapped up next week?
I don't even have to win next week. I don't even have to win the next 2 weeks. I just need to place higher or place exactly right behind both Justin and Benji. And next week, however I finish, if Benji and Justin are not leading every lap, winning, taking all the points from me, and I finish dead last, I essentially will win the championship. I'm right there. I'm 1 race away, but all depends on next week. It's Nashville. Anything could happen. I'm not putting my foot off the gas. I would not disrespect my friends or my fellow competitors that way by, holding back and, changing any way I would race or however I would. I truly, honestly feel like this is more of a disrespectful thing to do than trying to slow down for them to keep up with me. To me, I feel like that's more of an insult more than anything else. So for me and my guys, I rather beat them straight up, show them what it means to, if you want to win a championship, you gotta bring everything and the kitchen sink. So that's all I've been doing this whole season, putting a season together that was going to be as good as it is right now and come out on top. So that's been my plan since the beginning of the season, and 2 races away of making that happen and being the 4-time champion. So I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked, and honestly, I'm ready for it. So it'll be kind of a cool thing to call.
Well, like I said, that's what I'm saying. If you definitely come out and win next week, you pretty much have it wrapped up next week at that point.
Yes, sir. If I win, that's a wrap.
So that's pretty much what I was getting at. I mean, yeah, anything can happen, but
okay. I always go into a race thinking I'm going to get wrecked, or something's going to happen, or I'm going to make a bad adjustment call or race call, and something just catastrophic happens, like where Alex Daffin, for example, came through Dover, dominated us, and I could not do a squat to keep up with him. So I always go into a race thinking I'm going to lose, and plan on winning based off my strategy more than anything. So feels good to be up front, feels good to battle it out for everyone. And sorry about the number count. Unfortunately, Darlington is just one of those races, and a lot of our guys just don't like that track. So it's something to pay attention to for maybe next season. Right now, I have the schedule up for 2026, but with how low count the race was, we might have to readjust for the tracks, or we're going to rerun it next year. So just a little bit of take and give and learning from our past faults and moving forward to the future.
yeah, I mean, we only ended with 5 drivers running tonight, and 3 of them were laps down. So I mean, it really puts a damper on the broadcast, trying to figure out, well, where's the action at? And there isn't any.
Yeah, no, it's just a byproduct of, unfortunately, right now we're in the rebuilding stage. If we want drivers to come out and race with us, they got to bring it. They got to be wanting to put out, and be part of a league that's going to expect them, to race clean and be, fair drivers. And I'm never going to tell someone that they can't race in this league. I'm going to look at them and say, all right, if you want to race, you got to bring it, man. So, 100% one of those things. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes with 2 races left. Hopefully we'll get back up to our numbers to 15 to 18 drivers, but everyone I think is already checked out. So it's just going to be one of those things of just bring the league kicking and screaming, trying to get back to the finish line. So hopefully we can get it done and move on to next year and have better plans, bigger plans for us moving forward.
Alrighty, well, congrats again getting that win. You got sponsor shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
I'll give a shout out to you, of course, for always putting on a great show. It's always fun to go back and rewatch it and see your reaction to everything that happens on track and voice comms between drivers and everything else. So it's kind of cool. Give a shout out to TWIGI QSA. Give a shout out to all my admins, mods, and every driver that comes out to race. Means a lot to everyone who does show up to be part of a nice little group of people just to have some fun and enjoy messing with each other and have a good time. So that's all for me, folks. I hope everyone enjoyed the race, and we'll see y'all next week.
Alrighty, well, we'll see everyone next week for sure, and congrats again there, Merrick.
Thanks, sir.
You have yourself a great night.
You too.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up here from Darlington. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. We will be closing it out. Thank you so much for watching. Catch us later here at FFTV for more racing action. Good night.
To say how I feel, to know I let you down. 'Cause late nights turn to days, don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. Feel like I'm afraid of the other day.